Yep, you saw the title. Ultra Necrozma's actions were completely justified. If you don't know much about Necrozma or are even wondering what kind of evil maniac this guy truly is, well, don't worry because I'm here to tell you. And I promise my argument will be well worth it, so watch till the end, okay? Trust me, let me cook. Necrozma is a Pokemon that was introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon, or more specifically, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Ultra Necrozma is the fusion he undertakes when absorbing the powers of either Lunala or Solgaleo, since he needs light energy in order to transform into Ultra Necrozma. But it's important to note that Ultra Necrozma isn't actually Necrozma's ultimate Super Saiyan form. In fact, Ultra Necrozma is actually Necrozma's base form, and I know that sounds a little weird, so let me explain. So Necrozma's original form is actually Ultra Necrozma, but the Ultra Recon Squad stole all of Necrozma's light energy for themselves to power Ultra Megalopolis. Just in case you were wondering, Ultra Megalopolis is like their world or whatever, so yeah. So Necrozma's dark form is actually not his original state, but his weakened one. Fun fact. But now that we got Necrozma's origin out of the way, we can finally dive into the main topic of today's video. My name is Poki, and in today's video, I will be defending Necrozma's actions and tell you why his actions were completely justified. So let's get started. First off, let's talk about what makes Necrozma so gosh darn evil. Well, he's committed many crimes in the Pokemon universe, but I'll just list the most notable one. He tried to consume the entirety of Ultra Space, which houses an infinite number of parallel worlds, and not only that, but he also tried unleashing every single Ultra Beast into the Alola region. So he was going to commit an even greater genocide than what Aaron tried to accomplish using the Rumbling. Yeah, so you might be squinting your eyes a little bit and hear me out, okay? I know this sounds very bad, but just let me explain. Now, I'm not saying by any means that mass genocide is okay at all, so just get that through your heads, alright? But what I'm saying is, for what Necrozma went through, it makes complete sense why he tried to do what he did. I mean, just think about it for a sec. His powers that were rightfully his were taken by the Ultra Recon Squad, and he was imprisoned for their own personal gain. They tried to power their entire civilization at the cost of this Pokemon's freedom and identity. Ultra Necrozma was also boxing with the two legendaries Solgaleo and Lunala for quite some time as well. And this was before he even lost his powers, so it was fair to say that they didn't like the guy for whatever reason. I don't know about all of you guys, but this feels very scummy. And this isn't the only thing that Necrozma had to go through either. Necrozma was rightfully angry after what just happened to him, so he sought to invade all of Alola. And this part's important, so listen up. The Aether Foundation's plan to take care of Necrozma wasn't just to bring him back to his own world or try and prevent him from destroying the world while also giving it some hope. No. That wasn't part of the agenda. That wasn't part of the agenda. You know what they were trying to do? Or at least on Lusamine's agenda? They were trying to also use Ultra Necrozma for their own personal benefit. Who knew? Alongside Nebby, they were going to use Ultra Necrozma to get more Ultra Beasts since, you know, Lusamine's a freaking lunatic. Sun and Moon, the main characters in the games, were the only ones that actually tried to reason with Necrozma, and that's why when he transforms into that form, he wants to battle you. And it's likely that he saw Sun and Moon as nothing like the Ultra Recon Squad and the Aether Foundation who just wanted to use Necrozma's power. And even at the end of the game, Sun and Moon meet Necrozma after cleansing the world and decide to share their light with Necrozma, which gets Necrozma his powers back and also allows him to travel alongside a human the right way. And you honestly can't help but feel bad for the guy, since Sun and Moon were legit the only ones that actually had some empathy. Yeah, we were the ones who took his powers away, but ultimately he left us no choice. But even still, we gave him the light he needed despite everything he did. But if you think this is where Ultra Necrozma gets somewhat of a happy ending, nah, it gets worse, my man. In the Pokemon Sun and Moon manga, Necrozma goes through the similar phase of absorbing Solgaleo and Lunala's light energy and going on a rampage to destroy Alola. But what we learned is that Necrozma actually didn't need to absorb Solgaleo and Lunala like in the games, but rather drain them. My good pal Yuki can explain more on this. Take it, Yuki. But even though the manga version of Necrozma was ever so slightly more nice, it didn't help him at all. Necrozma was obviously still doing bad things, but like we said earlier, he had his reasons. But in the game side, Sun and Moon at least took Necrozma under his wing like we mentioned previously. But you want to know what they did to Necrozma in the manga? They didn't try to save him or even at the very least capture him. Nah. They genuinely killed Necrozma and wiped him off the face of the earth. I'm not joking, by the way. Here's the panel with Zygarde, Lunala, and Solgaleo, and alongside Sun and Moon, they just massacred him. Now, to be fair, even though Sun and Moon contributed, I feel like even if they showed empathy, it wouldn't have mattered. Zygarde probably would have still went for the kill since he is the order Pokemon, and he probably wouldn't have let Necrozma's actions just slide, to be honest with you. But still, it's crazy that in the manga, Sun and Moon still didn't hesitate when it came to killing Necrozma. I was genuinely surprised to see the difference in character between their manga and game counterparts. I get it, he would have destroyed the world, so their reaction is kind of a given, but it's still interesting to see that there are other versions of them that are still willing to see the light in people. Get it? Because Necrozma's light and... yeah, I'm so sorry. But Necrozma in the manga definitely got the worst end of the stick because holy man, that thing got killed by the people that were supposed to save it, and man, it was pretty dark, not gonna lie. Now, I know I've been defending Necrozma a little bit more than I should if I'm being honest, but just put yourself in his shoes for a second. Just imagine you have an infinite amount of light energy, right? You're this all-powerful being, but you don't just go around killing people in Pokemon, you're just minding your own business and such. And then you trust humans for the first time, and where does that get you? Yes, encased in a giant metal tube where all of your powers get drained and you are now a husk of your own self. Now, I'm not saying that's when you should commit multiversal levels of genocide, but I would highly believe that some of you out there would be pretty frustrated, and some of you would even have the urges to seek revenge and get your powers back, since at the end of the day, they are yours. I know I would be hella frustrated if I just lost all my powers to the people I trusted and people were hunting me down on a daily basis. I would 100% try and get my powers back if I could. Now I would be met with lots of resistance, but you see what I'm trying to say. Necrozma at his core isn't a bad Pokemon. Just like every other legendary mythical, he was very mistreated because of how powerful he was. His actions were coming from complete rage and anger, and you could really sympathize with him since, you know, he literally lost his soul essentially. His body turned into nothing but utter darkness. I find Necrozma's story very sad and tragic, and I genuinely miss the lore of these kinds of Pokemon. Now I feel like Pokemon has just lost their touch with how they write legendaries and mythicals and just turned them into strong and bland powerhouses. And I get it, right? Legendaries and mythicals are supposed to be strong, but at the very least make them have a personality and not just have them be this bland piece of material that you get at the end of the game. That's why I love Pokemon like Mewtwo, Genesect, Necrozma, and Zygarde, because they all have a story to tell and you can resonate with them a lot more because of that. I feel like they did a good job of making Miraidon and Koraidon since they actually feel more than just legendaries. They feel like your best friend along your journey. I hope Legend ZA does give Zygarde the right treatment he deserves and doesn't tarnish the amount of story he's literally built himself brick by brick in the anime. But hey, only time will tell. But what do you guys think? Do you think Necrozma's actions were completely justified, or do you disagree with me and think Necrozma's actions were not justified at all? I'd love to hear all of your guys' responses and reasoning under the comment section below. But anyways guys, that's all Yuki wrote, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.